All right, cool. So started a new job on Monday, and my apartment is not ready to move in yet. So I'm staying at a buddy's house. Who awesome for him to let me stay here until my apartment's open. But yeah, he doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I don't know. I guess he doesn't realize we're in 2018. But I'm not gonna talk bad about the man because he lets me stay here. So um, I started my new job, had to move around some stuff, and you guys were not a priority. Sorry, but had a good week too. Oh, so I'm using a hotspot on my phone, so they're not going to get the normal breakdown I normally do. Had a good week too. When I do the videos super early, I don't get all my picks into you guys. So sorry, it's not like I hold them. I don't really hold any information. Anything I got, I give. Also, it's going to be bouncy. I'm holding it around because there's absolutely nothing in this room. So anyway, so hope y'all had a good week too, because I hate this week. I don't think it's a very good slate. I'm pulling up my documents real quick. Like I said, I don't feel like blowing all my data for the month on a live video. So for my hotspot, so I'm gonna go real quick through here. I'm not gonna break down last week's. Yeah, just that one shout out to the guy that was saying Mahomes fit your game script theory, and I got on him later on in the week. And then for me, that Watkins pick was easy. My buddy also talked about it too, and I already had him in a couple lineups. Everyone was going to be on Hill. Watkins still has the talent, and defenses are going to focus on Hill. So, yeah, I played a lot of Watkins stacks, a lot of Kelsey stacks, The talent was still there. I talked about it. So, I hope you guys did well. But anyway, week 3 video, I talk a lot about game script theory. That's when what I say, the over-under is right around 48, and then you take the quarterback that's not favored to win, and you stack him. You also stack you just try to get a lot of that. So week 1, you guys know if you stack the biggest game, the highest over-under, you would have done well. If you did the game script theory, you would have had Fitzpatrick, Mike Evans with Alvin Kamara as your running back, maybe even some Michael Thomas, and you would have done well. And then I always try to get a decent little running back as well too that's favored to win. And James Conner was the chalk. And then week 2, if you use the game script theory, you would have had Patrick Mahomes with one of his guys, and then James Conner as well with I forgot, but there was another. Gordon was a big one I talked about too. So now this week, if you want to talk about the game script theory, that leaves you with a few teams to pick from. So you got Breeze at Atlanta. So first of all, the games that are there that are hovering around 48, Indy at Philly, San Francisco at Kansas City is at 56 over under. LA is 48. New England, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay are both above 50. Thank goodness those are not on the main slate because I don't know how to pick those. Fitzmagic is just doing his thing. But so really the only games that you have that fit the criteria are San Francisco, Kansas City, Chargers, Rams, and Indy, Philly. So then I picked a couple that are and then New Orleans, Atlanta. Sorry, I skimmed over that one. So New Orleans, Atlanta. So go first, Breeze. He's at Atlanta, -3. It's still in the dome. Over under 53. I think it's going to be a shootout. I'm not sure if it's going to be that close to 53 though. I think it's going to hover right around there, which is still plenty. I think it's going to be like 27-24 Atlanta. But Breeze has 80 pass attempts. Atlanta has 71 pass attempts. So that's pretty good. You're looking for a lot of pass attempts when you're going for a quarterback. Shoulders getting so red. But you're looking for a lot of pass attempts when you're going for a quarterback. As for I'm turning into a Smurf. As for the other quarterbacks I like, Andrew Luck at Philly. Breeze is 8,500, so I'm not going to play him in much. But all he has is Michael Thomas. Talk about this every week. It's just Breeze, Michael Thomas, and Alvin Kamara. There's no one else on that team that's doing anything fantasy-wise. They don't need to. Michael Thomas had another fumble, but another 2 touchdowns. Kamara had another amazing game only in the passing. And FanDuel, you can fade him because he's a horrible running back. He's just an amazing pass catching back. Also, real quick about last week, you could have picked any quarterback. Mahomes, obviously, but you could have picked any single quarterback. This is these new rules that I'm sure you guys are hearing about. Everyone's throwing for 300. So if you play DraftKings, especially, and you get that bonus for 300, don't even everyone gets it. So just know you got a very good chance to get 300 yards with your quarterback. So you're really looking for a good stack, not so much a good quarterback, because they're all hitting points. So with that in mind, I like the guys that are forced to throw in positions forced to throw or going to be behind, different things like that. So like Luck, he's tied for 4th in pass attempts. Philly's right behind him. Over under 47.5. They don't have a running game. It's a good front 7. So I do like Andrew Luck there. Once again, I'm going to play him with Jack Doyle. I know Ebron has 2 touchdowns back-to-back weeks, but Doyle's still getting the targets. Ebron's not. He's just getting those. He's getting red zone looks, so it's not he's got something, but I like Doyle. I do think he gets his touchdown this week. The targets are there, the implied totals there, and the pass attempts are there for Luck. So just for a little stack there, I do like Luck Doyle. I don't care for Luck TY as much because it's a little expensive for the ceiling. I think see that as a better cash game. I do like Grant as a second receiver there, but Jimmy GQ at Kansas City. I'm not on this one huge because Kansas City, this is their first home game, and that place is the loudest stadium in the NFL. So I do think they're going crazy. I think it's going to be very hard for San Francisco's offense to get going. I think they're going to be forced to throw, but that place is going to be so loud. I think Kansas City runs away with this at the very beginning. Play Patrick Mahomes till otherwise proven. Don't be that hero that doesn't play him. It's like Watson last year. Just keep playing him. Keep stacking him in different ways and triple stack him. It doesn't matter. But this week, I'm probably going to stack him with Tyreek and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt still doesn't have a rushing touchdown yet. They're projected win by 6.5, and it's a high implied total. And then I'll talk about some of Patrick Mahomes' just unearthly stats in a little bit. So Jimmy GQ fits my script. He's going to have to throw, and it is a bad secondary, but this is their first home game, and they're 2-0. I expect that place to be very loud, which is very hard for a quarterback to throw. So I'm not going to play Jimmy GQ as much. I do like him and George Kittle. It gives me a very safe floor, a decent ceiling, but it's more of a cash play. So if you're throwing in some 50-50s, then I do like that one because Jimmy GQ is going to be forced to throw. So I like Garoppolo there a little bit, but not as much as the week went on. Phillip Rivers, he's at home. They're playing the Rams, so he's at home. The Rams defense is super, super scary. Marcus Peters has picked him off more times than any other quarterback in the league, and he's going against Marcus Peters, again, phenomenal corner at the Rams. So it's 48, and Phillip Rivers has 78 pass attempts. I think this is going to be a good game. I think the Rams defense is that good. So we got to see exactly how good, though. This will be a good test. In no way were the Chargers ready to face that kind of offense with the Chiefs. And then they came out, and the game was over as soon as it started against the Bills, just as Vontae Davis. So all those quarterbacks fit my game script, but I don't like them as much. I mean, they're projected to lose by a touchdown, which is awesome. Actually, my favorite quarterback this week, expected to be a low-scoring game, but my favorite quarterback this week is Russell Wilson, actually. He's going to be low-owned, and it's his first home game. It's not that they're looking horrible. Their defense has the most interceptions in the league. Their offensive line is horrible. I think Russell Wilson, this is just a prediction, gets a touchdown, rushing touchdown, and gets some rushing yards. He plays way better at home, and he gets better as the season goes on. I like Tyler Lockett turning into his number one receiver for a little while. And then I also like his tight end that I'll talk about in a little bit. But I actually like Russell Wilson at home, 6.9 pass attempts. It's not great because Dallas plays so slow, but they are better at home, and I like the low own with the high upside of Russell Wilson's first home game. They have a good front four. Russell Wilson also has 5 passing touchdowns. So, I'll take that. 5 passing touchdowns in 2 weeks. It's not Patrick Mahomes' number, but with no offensive line, I like it. Just a quick tidbit about San Francisco, Kansas City. It's Kansas City. Everyone's going to go nuts. People are probably going to go crazy on Garoppolo to pivot off of Mahomes because of the high over-under. Just know Jimmy Garoppolo is bottom 2nd in the league in pass attempts. He has 59 pass attempts in 2 games. And they play Kansas City. That means he should have to throw against a really bad secondary, but I think they're at home and that offense helps out their secondary. But the team with the lowest pass attempts is Kansas City. They have 55 pass attempts and Patrick Mahomes has 10 touchdowns. So you do the math. That's unstable. You can't just keep doing that. That doesn't keep working. This dude is amazing. Like, he really is. He's looking left and throwing right. He's reading defenses that I don't think he should be reading yet. Like, he is advanced. He's very good. There's a reason they drafted up for him. Andy Reid has done amazing in drafts in the past. He's extremely efficient. He could also run. He just hasn't seen it yet. This guy's a freak. I just don't see it being sustainable. But don't be that hero that doesn't play him. Just let him know Kansas City comes out there and they throw deep balls, they connect, stuff like that. These 2 teams have the lowest amount of pass attempts and they're facing each other. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't make every single one of your lineups San Francisco versus Kansas City. So, but I would make a lot of them. The other games is I don't know if you don't. I play only the main slate. Stafford versus New England, and Stafford's plus 6.5. Leads the leagues in pass attempts. It's 51.5 over under. So definitely get some Stafford action there. I like Galladay in there. Maybe even some Theo Riddick. Sadly, I hate Theo, but he's got a lot of targets on that team and he's dirt cheap. This is a rough week. The pricing is very competitive. I hate this week. You got to find a lot of stretches. I'm really not going to do any more main slate because, like I said, I'm on my hot spot. For running backs, I like Kamara. That's a given. I don't need to say any more about Kamara. Since New Orleans is not projected to win, Kamara should be used more theoretically as a pass-catching back. He blew up Atlanta in his one game against them. The other game, he got a concussion. So I think he'll be hungry to play there. Obviously, if you can fit him, fit him. Like, I'm actually going to have a Matt Ryan, Julio Jones stack because Matt Ryan plays better in the dome. He's going to be forced to throw. New Orleans defense looks like not last year's, but the year before and the year before that and the year before that and the year before that. So I'm actually going to play Matt Ryan, Julio. Sorry, I forgot to talk about that. But Matt Ryan in a high over under, forced to throw. New Orleans is going to be a game. So I actually do like that. And this is like the cheapest you can get Julio Jones right now. So I'll take that. Melvin Gordon, he has 20 receiving targets. So especially if you play DraftKings, fire him up all day. And then they're going against the Rams. So I think that's why I wrote 20 receiving targets. I don't think he's going to go out there and run. I think they're going to shut down the run. They got Sue up front. They got Aaron Donald up front. They got freaking Ogletree. Like they can stop the run. Or did they get rid of Ogletree and kept Brockers? I think they left Brockers. But so many offseason moves. Saquon Barkley, he's gone against Jacksonville and Dallas. I know Dallas sucks, but they have a real good thought they would at the beginning of the year. And yeah, so far it is. And he's got 20 and 18 FanDuel points. Now he's going up against Houston. Like, he's low owned because he's not a sexy pick yet. There's a reason that he was drafted number 2 overall. There's a reason he was considered to be one of the best running backs they've ever seen in years. I don't know. I like Barkley a lot. He's gone up against 2 amazing defenses, specifically run defenses. Jacksonville's amazing overall, but and he's dropped 20 and 18. So, and that's in FanDuel, not even in DraftKings. So if you play FanDuel or DraftKings, I'm taking Barkley all day, especially getting off some of that chalk. He's going to be low ownership. I think I'm not very low, not under 10%, but I do think he's barely cracks double digits for ownership. Kareem Hunt, I already said he's just yet to score a rushing touchdown, and that gives you a piece of action for the San Francisco Kansas City game. Kansas City, first game at home. Kareem Hunt has had massive games at home, huge implied total. I'll be using a lot of Kareem Hunt this week. Expect him to be used a good bit too. This is the week where like things start coming together. You start seeing trends. We still don't fully know how good or bad teams are, but also newbies that are only play for a little bit. Week 3, they might not play as much. This is a competitive week. I'm not going to play as much this week. I had a decent week last week. Over 50% return, what I put in. So I got all my money back plus 50%, and could have been massive. I had 150 lineups or 150 point lineups with a lot of them had 3 people left. Galladay, Pettis from San Francisco, Kittle, some defenses. So I was thinking like, oh man, I'm 30 points away from first place in multiple lineups with 3 guys left. Like, yeah. And then Galladay comes out, gets a touchdown. Pettis drops a 30, he catches a 30-yard pass right off the gate. Nothing. So I could have had a monster week. It just didn't work out. That's fine. Still had a good week. Still got a return. Kenyon Drake isn't horrible. Old man Gord is still stealing his snaps though. I don't care for Oakland's defense. Oklahoma's defense in college is probably better. I don't care for Oakland Raiders defense. So I do like Kenyon Drake. He's getting usage. I just don't like that old man Gord back there just stealing his snaps. But I mean, for his price, and someone's asking, should I flex Enunwa, Lindsey, or Cup? I love Enunwa, but it's Vegas has it as over under 41. I'm a Jets fan. I do think Browns get their first win since week 15 of 2016. I think Browns win this week. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I like Enunwa. I think he's a very good flex, but I like Cooper Kupp in a game that should be high scoring with very good weather, with that many targets he's gotten. So, and I was actually going to talk about him soon. So Cooper Kupp over there. Lindsey's great. That's a good ad. In my auction league, I paid up for him. I always get running back. So I paid up for Lindsey, but not against Baltimore. Yeah, no problem. As for this next guy, JJ is hurt. As of right now, he's not going to play. Corey Clement is 5,800 on FanDuel and DraftKings. I'm not sure his price. I don't look up DraftKings prices. I play FanDuel, but be advised, once he's back, he's going to throw the rock. But I do like Corey Clement back there. That offense gets a lot better with Corey Clement. Also, they lost JJ. They lost Mike Wallace. He's done for the year, probably done forever. And then Alshon Jeffrey's still out. So I think Corey Clement's going to be used. I like him a lot this week, and he's 5,800. So that gives you access to some of those big stacks. He's going to be chalky though. He's that cheap, and JJ's out, and he's going to be. And they're also expected to. It's going to be a high over under, and he's the home running back, and he's expected to win by a touchdown pretty much. So everything's in his favor. I'm going to use him, and I don't know how many lineups I'm going to play this week because I really don't like this slate. Usually I play around 30 lineups. This week I'm probably going to play around 15, and Corey Clement's probably going to be in 6 of them. 6 of them, if that is a good show of how much I like him there. This guy I love, Chris Thompson, all day. He's leading the team in targets. They don't have wide receivers that are doing anything. Josh Doxson looks like a bust. Paul Richardson's banged up. They just aren't doing anything. Now they're going against Green Bay where they're going to have to throw. Nothing else left to say. Chris Thompson's going to get a lot of catches in the backfield. He's been getting a lot of catches. I'm going to use him in probably more than half of my lineups. He's 6,500, so he's a very fair price, especially for what he's been doing. And he's both a GPP or a cash play. He's a better cash play. But in tournaments for DK, when he's catching that many and he can turn you 20-something points, he's both GPP and cash. Dalvin Cook, very fair price of 6,500. He's getting more and more snaps each week. This is week 3 now. and everyone knows he is going up against the Bills, and it's at home. So I think he gets on field for a lot. I think he gets his fair share of looks. The Vikings absolutely destroy them. They're going to be scoring. I do want a piece of the Vikings action. It's only an over-under of 41, but there's no way I wrote that down right. Vikings minus 17. Can anyone check me? All three of you guys want Vikings minus 17. That's hilarious. But yeah, if anytime you see that looks like a college spread, but anytime you see a spread like that, you take the home running back. Dalvin Cook's actually gotten a lot of targets in the backfield too. So I think he's averaging like 5 or 6 a game. So, for a running back, I'll take that. Wide receivers, Michael Thomas, I don't need to go on that. Julio Jones, I talked about earlier. I'm going to be stacking the New Orleans-Atlanta game a lot. I think that's going to be a very good pivot from the San Francisco-Kansas City game. I'm going to be targeting that game too. But when both of those teams they're bottom in the league in pass attempts, I know Patrick Mahomes is crazy, but when they're both bottom in the league in pass attempts, I know Patrick Mahomes he doesn't need to throw the ball once, like he just scores. But I'm going to try to pivot off of that game a little bit, not too much. Nelson Aguilar, I love this guy this week, 6,600. Alshon's gone. Mike Wallace is back. Carson Wentz is back. So I love him there. With those guys also gone, Zach Ertz is my favorite tight end this week. I'll get into that. Tyreek Hill, until otherwise noted, just play him. I don't even need to say anything. Just play him every week. Adam Thielen has 25 targets and gets to play against the poor Bills. So he's easy to play. He's not he's not a hard pick. It's just most of these guys I picked are just really easy. So I try to pick a couple smaller ones. Pretty much everyone on the Rams you can play. I do think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be real high scoring. Robert Woods is a fair price. He's going to be a little chalky. A lot of people are talking about him. So he's got 18 targets. He actually has more targets than Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp. Cooks has 17, but Cooper's got 15. Goff's thrown for 3 touchdowns. Gurley's ran for 3 touchdowns. So I don't know if Gurley's going to be running in all of them against the Chargers. I do think they're both going to be scoring. So I like Cooper Kupp there for his price. I like Robert Woods. I like all 3 of them, but Brandon Cooks, he's leading the team in yards. He's averaging over 100 yards a game. I like that. I also think the Chargers are going to slide over to him, and that's going to leave Cooper in the middle, and it's going to give Woods a little bit better of a matchup, but we'll see. Chargers defense, I don't know. They went up against Kansas City first. Joey Bosa was out for a while. I think he still is out, and it just hasn't fully came together yet, but we'll see. This should be a good game, and you're going to want access to that game. So if you can't afford Cooks, that's fine. Use Woods. If you think he's a little too chalky, that's fine. Use Cooper Kupp. They got 15 targets, 17 targets, and 18 targets respectively. So they all get used. They're good. Will Fuller's back, and the Giants still suck. Next, I don't need to go anything else with that. Houston's playing the Giants. What did I say about that earlier? I don't know. Oh, well. Let me see the over-under real quick. Is Giants are at Houston -6. Houston -6, 41 over-under. So, yeah, Will Fuller looked amazing last week. I played him a lot. I talked about him. And the Giants suck. So I'm going to play some Will Fuller. He's a decent price. Tyler Lockett and FanDuel has 13 and 14 points respectively. Baldwin still's out, and he's 6,500. So number 1 receiver, and I like Russell Wilson. That's going to be my low own. I think high ceiling stack. Maybe not high ceiling because Tyler Lockett kind of brings it down a little bit, but I like Russell Wilson at home. And if Russell Wilson's ceiling's higher, his number 1 wide receiver's higher. These are the worst defenses. They are averaging 25 points per game and over. Buffalo, 39. Buffalo's playing Vikings. You can target them all day. I'm going to be playing Dalvin Cook at a very fair price. New Orleans, 33. That's why I like Matt Ryan and Julio. Kansas City, 32.5. Everyone knows that, though. So a lot of people are going to be playing that game. So I do think a Matt Ryan Julio stack is a good pivot. But do not play San Francisco, Kansas City. I'm just saying I'm not going to have full exposure to it. Last week, I had Patrick Mahomes in almost every lineup. This week, almost every lineup. Chargers, it's flawed because they played Kansas City and then turned around and played Buffalo, but they give up 29 points a game, and now they're at home against the Rams. And then Arizona gives up 29, but they're playing Chicago, and Trubisky sucks. Supposedly, they have a good defensive lines, but I do like Allen Robinson's 21 targets so far. Week 1 and 2, it was 7 and 14. So I like Allen Robinson there. I just don't like if he's going to be going up against Patrick Peterson. I got to check all the health on that and the matchup fully. So I do like a sneaky Bears right there, maybe like Trey Burton, Allen Robinson. We'll see. Tariq Cohen's not getting much uses. Jordan Howard's getting everything, but I don't like him against that front. But yeah, Arizona's defense sucks. Tight ends, Ertz leads all tight ends with 23 targets, and he gets his man love back. So Ertz is going to be in a majority of my lineups. I won't be stacking him with Wentz as much, though. I'm only going to have a few stacks there because this is week 1 for Wentz. So luckily, he's at home and plays Indy, so it doesn't really get much better than that. Travis Kelce is tied with Jared Cook. But Jared Cook got 12 targets 1 week for the next week. Kelce got 6, then 10, and now it's his first game home. Should be another good week. But they got so many weapons back there, so I like Ertz a lot better than Kelce. It's good to say he's up there on targets. I mean, we kind of already figured that, though. And then Jack Doyle, just because I think he scores this week. I hope he's not one that just loses me money every week because I keep playing him over and over. But he's 4th in targets for tight ends, and what should be another 40 pass attempts for Andrew Luck. So if you want to get a piece of that action going up, you can do Andrew Luck, Jack Doyle against Corey Clement, and I'm going to pivot I'm going to do a lot of lineups around that. Kittle was uneventful last week, so that means his ownership goes down, and they're playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs got torched by the tight end last week, so I do like I like Kittle there. So because was it like Jesse James had 130 something yards, or was it McDonald? I don't know, but either way, they just got torched by tight ends. Jordan Reed is in a must-throw situation. He's in a must-catch. Going against Green Bay, he's got 13 targets. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. So you can like that. But my favorite play for tight end, because I do got to save some money because there's not a lot of good picks this week, is Will Dissly. And that's Russell Wilson's guy. He's 4,600, and he is averaging over 14 FanDuel points. I think it was 13.9. I might be lying. But either way, if your tight end is averaging 14 points a game, and this is his first home game, and Doug Baldwin's still out, and he's 4,600, I'm good with that, especially at tight end. Kelsey's going to be chalky. Ertz is probably going to be chalky. So if you can take Will Dissly for 14 points, do it all day. I'm not going to go into defenses because like I said, using my hot spot, I don't feel like blowing all my stuff. Would you go Clement Breida or Gio Bernard? Let's see how I got them. I love Clement this week. Breida leads the league in rushing, and so it's like, well, that's because he had a great last week. Yeah, but he's also averaging 6.6 yards a carry, and you're like, okay, well, take away his big rush, and then it's still almost 6 yards a carry. So Peterson doesn't shadow anymore. Yeah, I thought so. I thought he just played the right side, I believe. Wide receivers left. So that's probably why their defense is so horrible, and they lost Matthew. So yeah, if that's the case, you can run Allen Robinson. I wrote him down. I was going to check on that, so thanks for that. Yeah, I like Corey Clement the most. There's a reason that Cincinnati has drafted so many running backs. They drafted Gio Bernard, then Jeremy Hill, and then Joe Mixon. It's because Gio Bernard sucks. I don't care for him. But what's his matchup? Let's see here. Bengals at Panthers. Nope, not at all. Low-scoring game. Panthers are favored to win. It's at Carolina, and they got an amazing front seven. I do not like Gio Bernard. I like Corey Clement a lot. I do like Matt Breida, though. I like Matt Breida because he's a good runner, and that outside zone run scheme that they run should do well against Kansas City. It actually should. And if they can control the ball a little bit and keep that ball away from Patrick Mahomes, then that's what Kyle Shanahan's going to want to do. Also, you get a piece of action. Will Alfred and him still split? So when Matt Breida busted the 60-yard touchdown, Alfred Morris got the next 4 carries to end the game. That's because he was just trying to burn the clock. When it comes to clock management situations, Alfred Morris is going to be out there. He's an ugly runner. He gets the ugly yards. They are going to lose the split because Kyle Shanahan said they're going to start off splitting, and then he's going to go from there. So he's going to see who starts taking over pretty much. He spoke very highly of Matt Breida, so you're a Redskins fan. I like Chris Thompson, but yeah, I like Alfred Morris. But yeah, I like Matt Breida a lot. Dude comes from Georgia Southern, so a couple hours away from me. Undrafted rookie out of Georgia Southern last year. So I like Breida. He's not going to be played that much at all, under 6 or 7% easily, because why would you play a running back that's away that the other team is favored to win by 7? So he's not going to be used much. So I like him a lot. If you're asking me which one, though, if you're playing a tournament, I would go Clement. If you're playing GPP or cash, I would go Clement and then Breida and some. I wouldn't go Gio Bernard at all. But yeah, that's all I got. Just comment if you got any other questions. I can check it on my phone. I'm not trying to use another hotspot though. So yep, no problem, guys. But yeah, I'll make my video probably Monday. I like doing them. It was just my first day of my new work, so wasn't trying to hop on real quick. But yeah, good luck. If you like any stacks, usually I do stacks. I'm not trying to make a 40-something minute video, so usually I do all my favorite stacks, just kind of put them together. So good luck, guys. And then yeah, comment anything that you guys like. Hey, I like these stacks, or these players, or you said him and I don't like that pick. Tell me why. So I learned too. But good luck, everyone.